Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Judith and this is Urban Wanderlust. If you're new here, I make videos all about the behind the scenes of running a small candle business from your home. And if you're not new, welcome back. Remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you aren't already, because I've been looking at my analytics and a lot of you guys are watching and you're coming back, but you're not subscribed. What's holding you back? Just go ahead and click the subscribe button so you know when we post new videos. Okay, so today we're gonna be talking about the number one question I get asked in every single video, in the comments, in my DMs, on my Instagram posts, everywhere. And that is, what printer do I use for my candle labels? Today, I'm gonna be answering all your questions about my label printer. If I missed something that you need to know, go ahead and leave me a comment down below and I'll try to get to it. All right. So here's my beautiful printer that I use to print all of my labels, from my candle labels, perfume, lip balm, everything you can think of. It's from a company called Primera and it's the LX500c. I'm gonna go into full detail as to why I chose the printer that I did and all of its capabilities shortly. Like I just mentioned, I have the LX500c, and if you go to the Primera website, you'll see that they have 8 different types of label printers, and there's 2 LX500s. There's the LX500 and then the LX500c. The difference between the two printers is that the C stands for cutter, which means it'll automatically cut your label as soon as it's done printing, where the 500 won't. Both printers actually have little metal teeth at the edge of it, so you can just rip it right off. You can probably save a couple $100 by not getting the cutter, but I personally just wanted the cutter. I don't know why, I just went ahead and shelled out the extra money. But I just checked their website and they're currently sold out of the LX500C. The LX500 is currently running for $1,495. I don't exactly remember how much I paid for the 500C. It was probably just an extra $100 for the cutter, which I personally just thought it was worth it. I mean, if it's just $100 extra, I might as well just get it anyway. What I like about the cutter is that you can automatically adjust the cutter to cut each label individually as it's coming out. Let's say, for example, you needed to hand out stickers at an event and you needed all of the stickers individually pre-cut. That will come in handy. Or you can adjust the printer so that it cuts at the end of your printing cycle, which is what I prefer. Okay, so let's talk labels. There is a portion of the website where you can customize the size label that you need. You can choose from round, square, square with pointy edges, or square with rounded edges. I have a couple of examples of labels that I personally use myself. You can enter the exact dimensions of the labels that you need, and you can choose whether or not if you want square labels with pointy edges or square labels with rounded edges. The largest width of the sticker that you can get is about 4 inches and a quarter. If you need something wider than that, then I would suggest getting a different printer that does have a bigger mouth feed. I'll get into that a little bit later in the video because you're gonna need a slightly different printer, and I'll let you know which one that is because I kind of debated between getting those two. It's also fairly easy to change between all the different types of labels. I currently use circle labels, square labels, rectangles for the different products that I have, and it's fairly easy to switch between them. Once you're done customizing the size of your label, then you can choose the finish of your label. They have from gloss, premium gloss paper, matte, extreme matte. I was using the extreme matte because I liked that look, but then after a while I realized that the labels were easily scratched. You might have seen me point that out in a couple of videos. That was a problem that I was constantly dealing with, so I've switched over to the semi-gloss. I find a little bit better, a little bit more durable, and it's better for bath and body products also. So Primera does give you the option to purchase your labels directly from them, but you can also find an outside supplier that might be cheaper. I haven't invested the time in trying to look for an outside vendor because I'd rather just get everything all at once from the same company, because while I'm ordering my labels, I can also restock on the ink that I need. So what made me make the switch from a regular printer to a professional printer was that I had just landed this high-end wholesale client and they were placing really large orders, like 300 to 400 candles at a time. And at that time, I was cutting everything by hand because my jars are so narrow. I need a specific size label that I wasn't able to get anywhere for some reason. Like none of the companies were getting it right. So I used to have to hand cut everything with the paper cutter and hole punch things all by hand. And one time Peter and I were up late, hole punching, cutting everything. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. I was getting hand cramps and I was like, I need to invest in something high quality because this company is shelling out a lot of money for me and it was worth the investment for me. So now if you specifically needed a printer to create die cut stickers for you, which are specific shaped stickers like hearts, stars, or whatever it is that you need, then you would need the LX600. That one runs about $2,000. I specifically didn't need that, although I did think about it. I thought it was pretty cool to be able to have the option of printing other types of stickers that I might want, but I really didn't need it at the time, and this was really a large investment. Okay, so let's talk software. You don't need to download anything onto your computer in order to get this thing to work. You just connect it with the USB cable that comes with it, whether you're using a PC or a Mac. I have a Mac. You just go into your printer settings, select the name of your printer, and hit print. It's as simple as that. So whether you're creating your labels on Illustrator or Canva, you simply just hit print and you're done. Some of you might be asking, is it worth it? And I think that is worth it if you're producing high volumes of inventory. And what's high volume of inventory? It could be anything that you feel as though is overwhelming and is too much for you to complete by hand, and it's too time consuming. For me, this printer has been so helpful. I'm able to print 300 labels at a time and still do something else. I'm making candles, I'm pouring them, I'm packaging up orders, so it really has saved a lot of time. And I really do think that this is a great investment. It's cheaper than outsourcing. Yes, it's pretty expensive upfront, but the return on the value of what you're getting because of the quality of work that you're putting out there, I think it's completely worth it. At the beginning of my business, I did use services like Avery to print my labels, but that didn't give me the flexibility to be able to interchange my labels whenever I wanted to. There was constantly a wait time, and outsourcing your labels can get really expensive over time. Now, I'm not saying that everyone needs to run out and buy this label printer, because if it weren't for my wholesale clients, then I would have continued making my labels with my regular printer. I just needed something that was going to be able to print out lots of labels within a certain amount of time and that had really good, consistent quality. I also just love the flexibility of being able to create a custom label whenever I want, instead of having to create a label on Avery, pay for it, wait for them to ship it and for it to arrive. And then what if you don't order enough? Or what if you order too much? Now you're left with all of these extra labels that you don't need, and it's a complete waste of money. Does the printer come with a learning curve? Yes and no. So if you have a PC, it should connect very smoothly, no problems. I, on the other hand, have a Mac. So there was a little bit of a connection issue between the printer and the Mac, just because of the dongle that I was using to connect them. It wasn't feeding the information correctly. The one thing that I do love about them is that they have a really great support team. So any questions, any problems that I was having, I was able to call them up, troubleshoot with them, and tell them what my problems are. They can connect virtually through your computer and troubleshoot what problems you may be having. And they are so helpful. They don't make you feel stupid for asking some of the dumbest questions. And trust me, I had some dumb questions because I was almost on the verge of crying because I wanted it to work so bad and I was getting a little bit frustrated. In the end, it was really just the dongle connection from the printer to my Mac that was causing a lot of the misalignment issues. With the help of the support tech, we were able to troubleshoot, and he kind of figured out that I needed to get myself a new dongle, which I did, and I have not had issues with it. It's perfectly seamless now the way it prints, and I totally love it. And I really think it's worth the investment. So in the end, do I think this printer is worth it? Yes, especially if you're producing large amounts of inventory and you need that extra help. Is it expensive? Yes, it really is. Pulling in that many sales, it's going to pay for itself within a couple of weeks or months. I didn't want to go into too many details as to how to set up the printer, showing you the wires and things like that, because it's going to come with its own instruction manual and you guys can read that on your own. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up the video right there. Thank you so much for watching. If there's any questions or things that you think that I missed out on, go ahead and leave me a comment down below and I'll try to get to it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and catch you next time. Bye.